Yeah, that's the bonus content for those who watch in game. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to game number 2. We had a very long break because the game coordinator was down, then players had to use the facilities. But here we go. Game 2 in this best of 3 showdown could be the last match of Group D. Only one more team will get to advance out of this group and join LGD and the rest of the other teams who have already qualified into the upper bracket. It's either going to be EG or MVP. But MVP
already up one game.
They are on the inside track, Waga.
Exactly. Going into this as well, EG are showing some respect. We talked about it when we were leaving off after our first game, banning out the Alchemist and the Bounty Hunter. But guess what? The Slardar is still there, and they grab up a very, very significant MVP hero, Wisp.
They get the IO right away, and EG not only banning one, but two of the heroes they had last game. The Alk.
Could be overreacting.
The Alk you can understand. I mean, that guy got pooped on in the mid lane, and he still had a 14-minute radiance and carried super hard.
Yeah.
Got a bit lucky with the runes. EG could have contested them more, perhaps. Sumail could have itemized differently. There's a lot of could-have, should-haves, but he still had a huge impact after a terrible start, so that's somewhat understandable. But even banning the bounty hunters, this is like PPD's like, we're just going to force you guys to play something different. But something different for MVP is one of their most fearsome heroes, Waga, the IO.
Yeah, and I also feel it could be overreacting because Fear was doing well shutting down that bounty hunter. It was not the bounty that was making the game go out of hand. I don't think so. I think the Slardar was much more significant for them. And sure, they did play Bounty Hunter in the last 3 games they've played in a row here today. But still, we'll see what EG have prepared in store. They have to have known that Wisp was going to go the way of MVP when they do this, of course.
So, Wisp responses, we see a lot of Disruptor picks. We see, I was going to say Void. We used to see a lot of Enigma grabs to deal with, like, that's more to deal, I guess, with the offensive relocates, but... any other thoughts on like big go-to heroes to try and punish? IO Clinks comes to mind as an EG special.
Witch Doctor is pretty fine as well. I think he's a great hero just alongside the Voids. You have a good combo there as well, the Chronosphere and Witch Doctor ulti. But it's just a matter of having someone who can go in and focus down the Wisp, right?
Who could forget the Caw-Caw?
I was wondering if they were gonna play it because it was completely ignored in the previous game.
And just your classic MVP. Bristle, IO, throwback to...
March is smiling.
This is a throwback to last TI when they were... This was one of their go-to strats, and...
Oh, yes.
No one was running Bristle then, but
offlane
MVP
is what
was.
They used to do when they picked this. Just putting the Wisp and Bristle back on the offlane is enough to contest it against even the strongest tri lanes. And that frees up their other lanes to be a little bit stronger if they go up against...
There's been so many changes over the past year. Do you still think Bristle IO is as strong as it used to be? Is it better? Where do you fit it in right now?
I think it's pretty decent. What I don't like about it, though, is there is a pretty heavy emphasis on heroes that use your max HP. And they already have one in the side of EG. That is the Sunray, of course, coming down. So tanky Bristleback is going to suffer against that pure damage coming in from Phoenix. We'll see. I think the combo is still very strong. It's more about comfort zone. They like
and this is certainly like the most comfortable possible picks for MVP.
For sure.
So EG move quickly now into the second phase. They are going to get rid of that Dubu or Spirit, one of his go-to signature heroes. The Puck also getting removed, so don't want a great setup hero for the IO relocates and just something that can potentially burst a Phoenix and delete him from fights in the mid game.
Silence is one of the biggest weaknesses right now for Evil Geniuses. They banned 2 of them here. Void doesn't do well at all, and Phoenix does not do well with Silence either. AA gets removed, so they don't want to be countered. Their heal is going to be there with a Wisp.
Alright, well, it won't be an Alchemist. Is a Huskar too crazy? We've seen Mineski bringing it out today.
We could, but yeah, they could dedefinitely pick up. If they pick Dazzle here,
Huskar Dazzle, they've already banned AA. That's why it immediately comes to mind.
What do you do if Dazzle gets picked right now as EG, dude? Just like, you're in a weird spot, right? If that happens. But I think they might just skip that as well.
It would be a little all-in-ish, I guess, is the main concern there.
I think Slardar being available is the bigger grab. But, they pick up the Witch.
Ooh,
still a good
heal. And there's like more stable options as well, like Juggernaut if they really want to push early. There's Lone Druid, potentially not so much of an MVP hero, but even a Nature's Prophet, perhaps.
It's possible for sure. And I wonder what EG want to go with here. They have great synergy for teamfight. Their teamfight is actually absurd at this point. Faceless Void, Phoenix, and Invoker, the three of them can combo so hard. And even in the early game, when you just have the Chrono on Void available, Sunstrike is immediately going to be there. There's no doubt in my mind that this is Exort Invoker. We saw Quaswex played earlier and struggle a lot, but this has to be Exort.
EG, they've got the team fight now. They've got a lot of just AoE damage, but do they have the lanes? Because Io Bristle already strong in the laning stage, Witch Doctor pretty strong laning support, and that's just MVP's bread and butter. Like, they look to dominate the lanes and snowball super hard into the mid game.
Exactly, and it is a weakness. When you have Phoenix, he's good at killing people off. He's very good when you have tons of people in front of you in skirmishes, but laning phase, he's not the strongest, in fact. He doesn't have much armor at all. He doesn't trade hits very well.
And you verse Bristle with the goo, the warpath.
You might get run down if you don't have the dive on early enough. So I wonder what EG are gonna go. I think
I have not seen PPD go this deep on the clock this early in the draft in a long time.
Spirit Breaker's gonna be it. Alright, pretty good hero against the Wisp as well. He can definitely get in there. There's only one stun available right now on Witch Doctor, so breaking the charge even is kind of a struggle for him right now. And it's just very, very important to kill the Wisp before you go on the Bristleback. Also want to mention that Faceless Void is so amazing against Bristleback. I kind of am surprised that Bristle got picked into it. Because the time dilation, you just shut down Bristle.
Yeah, that's great. You can chrono him and then ensure you're hitting him from the front as well.
That as well, yeah.
And he actually does a lot of magic damage with the bash. So
he does.
Bristle tending to build that early Vanguard. We see the Slardar, so MVP, their bread and butter. Heavy physical damage. Still feels like EG have the overall team fight edge here. MVP more of the skirmishing draft thus far.
Yeah, for sure. I think all EG need now is something else to just set up a stronger form of push, a better pressure onto the towers.
So you have Exort Invoker very likely.
Yeah, but that's really it right now.
You're looking for another core. It's going to be your safe lane carry for Owie.
Yeah.
What's an Owie hero that will combo decently with the Chronos?
They might go
here?
for the Venge, in fact, but I just think they're going to suffer so hard on the laning phase if they do. They played it before.
We saw the Lycan. Lycan doesn't seem great with the Void.
No,
What
they don't
else?
have the best babysitting heroes, so I'm kind of leaning towards something that takes care of itself. Maybe a Gyrocopter even, but I'm not certain what's EG are gonna want to have here. Lifesteer got banned out. That's a pretty good call. A good fighting hero that is hard to burst down, but MVP first gonna have to reveal their own pick.
Is a Sven too much for EG?
I don't think it is. I think Sven, he's gonna struggle in the early game if they pick it, but what they can make happen on other lanes might make up for it. Because if you put Sven against Bristleback, you do have the speed of running away during the Warcry. You can just get away from Bristle.
Oh, you know what else could be good, though? They have not been very successful with it. With this lineup is the Clinks, I was thinking. Good at hunting the Io, good at getting vision on, and just setting up for the Invoker and the charges in general.
That is a possibility.
And can dump damage into Chrono.
It's a possibility. He does really kill the Wisp off easily, but it's a little bit sad going against Slardar or Batrider. They're gonna pick up the Timber Saw.
Something in a totally different direction, but in a way the same. And it will be a Sumail Invoker, so it's Owie handling the Timber Saw. This is a curveball from EG. Well, MVP were not expecting an Owie Timber Saw. I think they figured this would surely be a more traditional carry, I imagine.
Oh, definitely. And I thought so too, but this is a great reactive pick here. I mean, Wisp is a strength hero, Bristle strength hero, Slardar strength hero, all of them so easily to hit with a Whirling Death. Timbersaw will work pretty great here. The question is more, do they have the tower push needed in this game? Because they do not take towers quick at all. And they need to transition the Void into a DPS carry at some point. Depends how good of a game they have on Invoker, I suppose.
I really want to see when the last time Owie played Timbersaw was.
Yeah, you go and look that up.
I will try to. Okay, it's definitely not his most played. Timbersaw. He has 30 recorded games. He actually has a 77% win rate on the hero. I mean, granted, this is in pubs, And
It still makes a difference.
and
If
he's
someone
played
likes-
it as of 10 days ago. So it's definitely not like a staple Owie hero, guys, but he has played it before.
Yeah, I wonder if it's something they have practiced though. I think it's more a reaction to MVP and the way they draft, because they're very susceptible to the Timber pickup. Is how simple it is.
The last time they ran the Timber, it looked like an even better Timber game, I would say. Didn't work out, but this time around, MVP don't have that incredible like gold comeback mechanic.
Maybe it's just Aoi going, "Hey, you're doing it wrong. It's my time. Let me show you." Sumail, step aside. I just think they suffer. Timber doesn't do very well against Lifesteer, that's for sure. And against Lardar, you can be having a hard time as well, even though both are strength heroes. But the itemization was definitely questionable.
All right, well, let's get into it, folks. It's game 2, MVP taking on the boys in blue. Looking a bit bruised and battered here, so blue in all the wrong ways as we head into this game number 2. Could be the last shot they have at an upper bracket berth. Even if they win, MVP will have one more game
for both runes
to take
here,
the
MVP.
series. Well, Bounty Runes were the key to their success last game, and they are going to contest this one. EG forfeiting both. The cast gonna bounce, and they will give this one up. Even MVP going in onto 4 heroes. The balls of this team, they may pay. Old man says hell no. He charges, Sunstrike there, Sunray 2. A lot of fire for Dubu, but a great crush again from QO. Secures the rune, gets them out safely. It is going to force a lot of tangos. And Witch Doctor does not have the heal, as he already skilled that cask, so...
Shows off how strong MVP are in the beginning as well. Being able to take both runes like that, just crazy.
Just a confident team, really.
Oh, always. Every single time they play.
So they are running the IO, Febby, for
He's
the
gonna
time being.
Stack the Ancients pretty hard, it
And
seems.
Fear is not going to allow that.
Yeah, they've been clearing the trees a lot, so they want to rely on it, but Fear has 2 sentries. Febby only has 1. So even if he dewards this one, he's not going to be able to get the second one off.
Yeah, Fear already planting that sentry. There's the D ward. Very quickly deployed just out of range as Fear will have to charge out, but the Flame Break already skilled up to interrupt this. This might be the first blood.
He's dead.
Who skills Flame Break at level 2, says
Who
Fear?
levels this?
I do, says MP.
Yep, he just saw the
What
kill.
a sick... it's not going to show up on the highlight reel, but that is a sick play, just holding that skill point.
Just very heads up and realizing the possibility. Probably was communicated as well. Really good team when it comes to communication and playing together. This MVP. Charge is coming in from the fountain as well. So top lane might turn up some heat when the Spirit Breaker arrives.
You know, this is where you're contemplating your life as a first-blooded support.
Oh my god.
All right,
Well,
where did it all go wrong, Waka? How do I turn this around?
He's so far back. That's going to be really hard to kill.
And Bristleback is going to have a lot of time to stack up the quills, so even if they get the kill on Febby, he may just punish PPD on the way out, who has 0 armor. They're going back in. The vaunted Bristle-Io duo as Febby still has stick charges, still has the Tango. Going to muscle his way up on Fear. Does have the charge, but again, having to commit these defensively is going to be really painful. It looks like they looked for the Sunstrike, but they didn't find it on Febby.
They're
He continues to move forward. Owie could go down. Oh, they're going to back off.
Gotta respect the tower a little bit.
Just in time.
But that's just MVP. You cannot underestimate the Wisp play from these guys. They know exactly how to use it.
And now Febby getting charged along with the Sunray. This time it may be a bridge too far. He tethers in, but 4F going to quickly lose his little buddy though. He is very big right now. The Quill's stacking up. Fear has no charge. He's running in on PPD. He might get a twofer here. He can hit Fear once more with the Quills. He gets him as well. He's looking for the triple. Owie driven back off the lane. But that's without the IO, who's back.
Mana
Free
boots
fountain. Let's go.
He was like, okay, I want to keep using my spells, so I'm gonna go mana boots. Why not?
I mean, how do you recover from this game? Owie has the level 1 chain.
He's dead.
He's dead anyway. There is no saving this man. Timber's going home. So too might EG down to the lower bracket. This is...
God.
How do you salvage this start? They're farming all their cores to Waga. Slardar free farming the safe lane. The Bat Rider mid is dodging Sunstrikes, canceling charges with a Flame Break. This is a full-on rout against EG.
Oh, mid might be a dive as well. Sumail has a lot of stacks on him, and he's going in.
He's moving
7
in.
stacks?
CD still going for a little bit longer. He gets on top of Sumail. Doesn't have a point of X, no Ghost Walk, but it's going to force out a secondary charge, which means they can dive in the top lane. And it looks like they just might be thinking about it. There's the Cold Snap.
I'm not actually sure why he didn't run on top of him. He could have killed that, but he just decided to run away. He doesn't want to die at all, and keep playing it safe.
Yeah,
He can play it safe, while the top lane plays it balls deep, just going in.
And this is without looking at our bottom lane, where QO has gone for the early Helm of Iron Will. Bulba getting his levels. He is 4. Not too shabby for sub 4 minutes, but I look at this top lane and I just see continuous disaster written all over it.
Yeah, charges coming in, but they're so healthy right now. How do you bring them down? Bottle charges, magic wand.
They're gonna try for it though. 4F gets caught. The Sunray doing work. Bevy's got to keep his buddy alive. If he goes down, this could be the start of the comeback. But he jukes into the trees. Kill that little ball. Kill it. They can't. They try with the chain. It's off the mark, and now 4F gonna come in. There's the swoop, but PPD also needing to get out at the same time as Ali desperately tries to finish the job. This armadillo simply won't die. He even moves forward, just lurching in after Ali. The goose spam continues. He doesn't have the chain in time, and this is a tri-lane. Remember that. Yeah, this is a tri-lane.
Tri-lane status going great. Don't worry about it.
More heroes, more quill stacks.
I also feel that they haven't had any sunstrikes that really punished them up here. Like, he tried earlier when the Wisp was really low in the first engagement, but maybe when they charge in, if they can get the sunstrike on the Charge of Darkness, they could have killed the Wisp there.
They are down 3,000 gold and 2,000 experience nearly at 5 minutes.
That is very fast.
And Waga, looking at the draft a little bit, this is a snowball lineup for MVP.
It is. It's a lineup that does really well when they get some items. Slaughter, he's just silently farming and getting his armlets. They play really well when they have armlet and blink on QO. I mean, I definitely rate MVP as my #1 team when I think about Slaughter. QO just plays it that well.
Yeah, and they've got the IO to back them up too. The Bat Rider who can also initiate, and they're going to continue to use this IO so effectively, just giving free fountain trips to the Bristleback top, now doing the same in the mid lane. This is going to force EG to do something very unusual. They will rotate these lanes, but that just leaves for a free farming top. Phoenix, not normally known for his level 3 smoke ganks, but this is what it's come to for EG. They swing towards the bottom. Dubu has the cast.
They could definitely kill Dubu here if they find him. It doesn't even have boots as well.
There will be no chrono available, so they are going to need a clean initiation, though.
Charge him? Oh, charge is very late.
He is going to commit to this one. The cask, does he get it off in time? Sunstrike coming through. It's a direct hit at long last.
Nice combo.
EG finally get a kill.
Yeah, EG need to get on board with the kills here for everyone, really.
Now, at the same time, they see that rotation bottom, they say, great, we're going to kill Owie top. If anyone comes, we'll kill you too. He tries to chain away. He's got no TP. He does have the stick charges, though, but with the amount of heals that this IO is pumping into the Armadillo, I'm not sure it's going to matter. Gotta be careful.
They should honestly not right-click him when they try to kill him, because he has 3 points in the reactive armor, and they can kill him with just the quill spray. But when they hit him like this, his armor goes up.
And they might get Bebby here too. MVP, they've miscalculated. They've given up 2 costly kills. They might even give up the 4F one, though. He's a bit tankier, already has the Ring of Health. Moving back in. This actually forced Sumail to bring his hero to the top lane, but they leave PPD mid to get some experience and things stabilizing for EG after what looked like a total tilting, just horrendous start.
Yeah, they're doing good playing. They're bringing more people everywhere they go, even rotating the Invoker from mid lane. That's definitely a sign that you want to bring this back, that the early game aggression is too much from MP.
The Bat Rider Arcane Rune. Lots of napalm.
It's a really great rune to have. And he's going to farm up the enemy jungle here.
This is like straight out of a Clockwork Orange, potentially. MVP. Now have to deal with the chrono, though. That's something to keep in mind here. And still no Bat Rider blink for a little bit longer. MP closing in on that one.
It's just the threat of when they get the blink daggers, because there's so much pressure being added already, and they don't even have the relocate yet.
And there it is. Now they have the Vanguard. Now 4F gets a whole lot scarier.
Yeah, I definitely think they need to be wary about hitting with the Wisp and even hitting with the Bristleback on the Timbersaw when they're diving him, because he gets armor, and Quill Spray could kill him if you don't give him all that armor.
Yeah, definitely. At the same time, I guess now he can kind of tank the creep waves too, but
yeah,
especially if he's on his own, as we will see him up to 15 reactive armor stacks.
Exactly. As soon as the creep wave is gone, then he's gonna start losing this again.
Let's see how aggressively 4F wants to dive this. Bearing in mind that MVP, they are light on magic damage, Waga, so if the Timber can get back in the game, He could be a real problem for them in future fights.
He could, but we also saw in the previous game what amplified damage can do to you.
That's true.
Saw. You just die in too few hits, and
you die before you get the stack.
Exactly, your reactive armor points might not be so good in mid game because he's delaying his damage output by not having points in Whirling Death and Timber Chain. So it's a risk always.
So EG looking to crawl back into this game. And they are slowly rising to their feet, but something that can knock them back down is about to arrive. It's the Blink Dagger for MP. As 3 heroes converge on the top lane,
TP.
the Haste Rune is up on the bat as well. Void's got the Chrono, he catches out Dubu. It's a great one for Boba, but Febi is there, keeping Forev alive for a long time. The charge does come through though, and Forev will fall, and now the chase is on EG, looking for more. The bat comes from the rear. He's going to drag the Jumpman down to the low ground still. It's a 2-for-1 thus far. Sumail in a lot of trouble, has stick charges, hanging onto the patiently, but Bulba's moving in. MP juking a bit up to the tree line. Can they lock him down? There's the time walk forward. They actually lost the Invoker. He roasted in the flames. Bulba getting juked as MP runs rings around him, just stacking up the napalm. It forces out another Phoenix TP top.
S4 rune, dude. It's pretty good on Batrider.
And he's got the blink ready, so she'll be able to make it out.
Haste.
And this is before the Slardar gets involved. QO now with an armlet online.
He's just silently farming away. He's going to be just fine down there.
But still, EG, scrappy fights to keep this game within striking distance.
Yeah, they are really bringing in a lot of people, and while the fights are going their way now, if we just look at the farm and the net worth of the heroes, they are still falling behind. And that's before
there's
they
an
even
ancient
farm
stack
up
as
the
well.
ancients. Yeah,
This is a lot of extra gold for MVP.
definitely. Spirit Breaker buying out the Tome of Knowledge. He really needs his level 6. Had some quick burst damage against the Wisp.
Oh, it's going to be a while, man.
Yeah, well, not so far with the 425 Tome of Knowledge gives you.
If Forev has his way, Fear will not be near creeps.
Yeah.
Get back to your base.
Maybe not on top lane. Maybe you should go somewhere else. Mid lane is free, because Invoker is roaming about anyway.
MVP.
And he has a pretty delayed Midas here.
Yeah, he actually TP top when they got that that earlier 2-hero kill.
Yeah,
that's a big commitment for a mid and Exort
he
Invoker.
TP top, and he also ran top one more time in the early game, and now he's bottom. He's all over the place, and normally as Invoker you want to have a silent game, sit on your lane, farm, push out the tower, go jungle with your Midas, but he's not having that easy cruise. Sumail is definitely going to have to struggle for his items this game.
Unfortunately for EG, they throw out a scan here, perhaps looking to see if MVP are doing Ancients, but doesn't see the actual stack, and there's no one at the Ancients right now.
Imagine the scan just saying, yes, there are 4 stacks, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, originally, apparently, it was going to get Vision, is the rumor that we heard today.
I hope that rumor is false.
Well, they didn't end up doing that in the end. So.
Yes, but
I think it's pretty cool how it works now, where it's a little bit of info, but it's not too much.
no, I like it. I think it adds a lot, in fact. People were really not receiving the smoke in a good way either when that was added in Dota 1. And it wasn't that good in the first instance, but now if you say as a pro player, oh, I'm good at Dota, but I think smoke is bullshit, that part I don't get, you know, you're going to be laughed at. And maybe in a few years, the scan is going to be at the same point.
Yeah, before smoke was introduced, the laning was so static in Dota, and it was so easy to detect ganks incoming. Once teams started to get good, there was like a golden age of just running to carry in every lane. The Tricore strat.
And it's very hard to do good smokes as well. And here goes the Flame Break, just perfect.
They find Sumail, but the Chrono's there. It's a beauty from Boba. Catching out 3 from MVP. It's up to Febi to save this. QO, though, has the armlet. He's tanky. They bring down PPD. Owie on the run with MP on the chase. Can they finish off this Timber? They've got the magic damage to bring him down. QO with the toggles. Oh, no, EG. They gotta get out. They can't deal with that angry fish, man.
No.
The sushi wakes up and starts eating.
QO will not die.
The sushi lover.
Alright, straight into Roche seems to be the call here. They have great heroes against it. So many people dead. This might be a little bit too hard though. This is so early in the game. Death timers are really low.
God, if the laning stage wasn't so disastrous, that's like a game-winning Chrono right there. But
they saw them walk right into the pit, but they're kind of far. Sunstrike with a Sun Ray, they could maybe stop them from this. Nope. A dive to steal?
Easy going for it. PPD feeling desperate. He drops the egg outside the pit, but MVP can shrug it off, or they can just maybe kill him. QO, he chooses the aggression method, but PPD does get the egg off. Have they baited him in? He manages to toggle the armlet on again. Is he going to get it off and on once more? Yes, he does. QO staying alive for way too long. Finally, they will connect and find the kill, but MP had another lasso. He brings down the Spirit Breaker again. Space Cow out of the fight, and QO back in the picture, hunting to the right, looking for Bulba.
Peter running for his life.
He'll amp one, but they'll chase down that Firebird. He went for the desperation play. Does manage to crack the Aegis nice and early, but it still cost them another 2-for-1.
I think they're actually struggling so hard in this game that he just felt, hey, I have to go and try and steal this Aegis, and then he got scared and just panic ulted. It almost worked out though, it was really close, but QO is so damn good at his armlets. He just doesn't die as he should.
I know, and then on top of that, you've got the Witch Doctor heal, the IO assisting, so...
This is not an easy armlet toggle game, by the way. There's Sunray going down, there's, you know, the Fire Spirit,
the Icarus dive, the Fire Spirits, the Timber burst damage.
It's incredible how he stays alive.
Oh, it's gonna get even harder now as the Blink Treads fully complete. QO in full Slither mode, and he's just confidently strutting about the map at this point.
And it seems that Forev is going for that full Guardian Greaves as well. He went for a Mana Boots on laning phase, and I was wondering if he was gonna do this. And indeed, the mech is completed, which obviously is great to have this early. And he's not too far off from Guardian Greaves.
Tower will drop now, so MVP, more gold into their overflowing coffers, now a 10,000 gold advantage, 7,500 experience.
Speaking of gold as well, I am really worried when it comes to EG, because I said earlier, Void has to be the one to transition and become a DPS carry at some point in this game.
He's got an Iron Talon and Treads.
Yeah. He's not there.
Where is that carry potential going to come from?
It's all on Sumail at this point. He has to bring some amazing team fights.
They have to hit the perfect combo, and they're going to move towards these Ancients. Are they risking a fight into it? That is a bold move as Aoi hunts Dubu down to the river. The Chrono goes the other way. A bit of a disjointed fight from EG, but they do dump the damage onto Febby. Mech's there to keep the IO alive, will eventually fall. And now PPD dropping the egg in the middle of the enemy squad. It's a really good fight by EG. They gotta kill this egg off. They're kind of late to do so. MP doesn't get it in time. Even gets stunned by the egg. Actually an immaculate fight by EG, but then the crush. QO again trying to save the day. He gets up another armlet toggle again in the midst of the entire enemy squad. AG, even when it's perfect, it's shit. It's just not good enough.
I don't know what to say.
Yapitz is just turning over in his grave right now.
I'm just feeling
it's just too far behind for EG.
Between Dr. Lee, Mask Commander's Armlet Sniper, and QO on his starter, I just feel Armlet is a Korean item.
He armlet toggled in the middle of 3 heroes, just constantly throwing out nukes.
Yeah, he's just
what more can you ask for from QO?
He's actually just so good on Slardar as well. It's just the timing when he goes in, he gets the massive crush off, and the way they play together. Even when Wisp gets bursted immediately, that's the one time you feel, oh, we're gonna get the fight. The egg went down as well. Phoenix got the full ulti off. But no, doesn't matter. Still, MVP just persevere in the fight. Man, what a crazy team.
MVP are in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
I don't know what EG do, Aga. Like, they're getting great chronos. The eggs have been godly from PPD. It's still a level 1 egg, mind you, and they've got physical damage, or rather attack speed to kill that quickly. He's still getting them off every fight. They've got the Timber Cell damage on top, and they're still losing these fights.
They're getting grabbed.
There's the lasso onto Sumail. They're going to drag him back far away from the confines and safety of his home. Down he goes. They do manage to counterplay this, though, killing off the Witch Doctor. But now Forev and MP are into the backlines. That's before Big Daddy Slardar lives, and QO's just waiting. He finds the 2-hero crush. Always on target. Fear down. Aoi likely to be next. Up to the high ground. Frantically back towards the well, but that's where Forev's going to hurt him. It's all immediately Fear rejoining this one. He TP's in. He's got no charge. I think they know it too. They're going deeper for Bulba. EG, it's time to leave the game. Your run's over. They call it now. It's EG and it's Secret, both down to the lower bracket. The Koreans are on top. Eternal Envy called it, but I don't think he expected the story to go quite this way.
No, definitely not. And congrats to MVP going into the winner bracket, not having to go into that best of 1 in the lower bracket first round. Really scary stuff for EG now as they join, as you say, Secret and EG down there. What a crazy world we live in.
The team